21.1. We'll be solving quadratics using the quadratic formula. Now, the quadratic formula takes a quadratic in this form: ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, and it solves for x by taking the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4, then times a, then times c, all over 2 times a. So this formula right here takes the numbers in front of the x squared, the x, and the c, puts it in this order, and this will solve for the two answers of this quadratic. Now, what we're going to do is that for the b, a, and c, and a, I'm going to put a parentheses to replace them, and we're going to put the numbers in. Oops, it should be parentheses, sorry, and then 2 parentheses. So the b, a, c, and a are now all parentheses. So here, a here is 3, the b here is 8, and your c here is the 5. Now we're going to put those numbers into the parentheses here. So let's start that process. Parenthesis here, minus 4, parenthesis, and then all over 2 and parenthesis. All right, so according to the formula, we got b and b, which is the 8. So the 8 goes here and here. Next, we need a. A is 3, so that goes here. And here we need c, which is the 5, that goes there. Underneath we need an a, so a is 3, so 3 goes here. Okay, now we have our numbers in. It's time to start the process of solving this. So let's get rid of the x. We don't need it right now. We'll put it at the end. So we have the negative on the 8 plus minus square root. I'm going to turn this 8 squared into an 8 times 8. And the rest of it is 4 times 3 times 5 over 2 times 3. Okay, now that everything's this has been expanded, we can now do our first step of multiplication. Multiplication here, there's multiplication here, 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 and here. The first multiplication is easy. This is a negative times an 8, which is just a negative 8. That's pretty easy. The next multiplication is 8 times 8, and that is 64. Next, we have a negative 4 times 3 times 5. Well, that's 12 times 5, which is 60, or negative 12 times 5, which is negative 60. And then down here we have 2 times 3, which is 6. Okay, all multiplication is done. Now it's time for adding and subtracting. The only adding and subtracting we have is right here, 64 minus 60. So this will be negative 8 plus or minus. And the answer for this will be 4. And that's all over 6. Okay, the adding and subtracting has been done. Now let's take the square root. The square root of 4, write this down, will be negative 8 plus or minus 2 all over 6. All right, now that we have this, we can now split it into 2 pieces. The 2 pieces will be negative 8 plus 2 over 6, and then negative 8 minus 2 over 6. Okay, that's how you use the plus and minus. Plus for one side and minus for the other. So a negative 8 and a positive 2 makes negative 6. And negative 6 over positive 6 makes a negative 1. And that's what x equals. And I can reintroduce the x. Okay, a negative 8 and a negative 2 is a negative 10. And I can divide both of these by 2. And dividing them both by 2 gives me x equals negative 5 over 3.